What's up, guys? Mickle here, and tomorrow, December 15th, is the day that Charles Hoskinson told us that he thought there could be a settlement in the Ripple SEC case. Guys, in this video, I want to go over the probability that we will have a settlement tomorrow, as well as some brand new news that we just got that could be pointing to the fact that a settlement tomorrow really could be realistic. Guys, make sure to stick around for that, but we're also going to talk about some new news we just learned today. How is our government looking to rein in Gary Gensler and the SEC in their pursuit of the cryptocurrency industry? Guys, I want to share with you guys some pretty bullish development in regards of that. And at the end of the video, we're going to talk about what is driving the cryptocurrency market right now. How important is the Federal Reserve to us finally getting some positive price momentum back in the market? Guys, make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. You are not going to want to miss it. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description below. Uphold is my favorite place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, real quick, moomoo just upped their holiday promotion, and you can now win 20 free stocks if you sign up with moomoo using the link in the description of this video. Guys, you can also win a chance to win $60,000 in their holiday sweepstakes. Guys, moomoo is an awesome trading platform. They have a great interface and they're regulated. So guys, do not miss out on this opportunity to get some free money, and go sign up with moomoo now using the link in the description of this video. So guys, I want to start out this video and go over a couple new things that we just learned today that could make a settlement tomorrow in the Ripple SEC case look more realistic. So the first thing I want to go over was reported on by Eleanor Terriot, and she said that the lawyer litigating the SEC's case against Sam Bankman-Fried is Landon Stewart, and he is currently serving as the lead counsel in the SEC versus Ripple case. This is one of the things that I predicted when the Sam Bankman-Fried case first got dropped by the SEC. Guys, the SEC is going to have a lot on their plate now that they're going after FTX. The fact that the SEC went after FTX really shows that they're kind of changing their priorities and where they're looking to litigate in the cryptocurrency space. Obviously, the Ripple SEC case is taking a lot of the SEC's resources, and the SEC is going to have a hard time if they take up too many other cases. Obviously, guys, the SEC going after FTX is a much easier case than the SEC going after Ripple because, well, FTX actually committed fraud and actually did something wrong. We know from following the Ripple SEC case, Ripple never actually did anything wrong. They were doing their best to follow the rules. So the SEC might be realizing here that they wasted a lot of time and resources going after Ripple, and there are far easier cases out there. This looks like, to me, the SEC is starting to shift their focus and is likely looking for some new cases to go after where they can actually go after fraud in the industry and actually make it look like they're doing their job. Now, guys, it's also important to point out, and this was pointed out by Ashley Prosper, that a lot of the major filings in the Ripple SEC case have already been completed. So the SEC really isn't going to be diverting too many resources by putting some of the lead people on the FTX case, but I still think this is something we need to monitor because at the least, it at least makes an appeal by the SEC a lot less probable. The SEC obviously wasn't going to take up the FTX case and other crypto cases in the future if they planned on appealing the Ripple case. This is overall just good news that whether or not this case settles tomorrow or it does end via summary judgment, it looks like the SEC really is starting to divert its attention to some other crypto players out there, and this is absolutely great for Ripple in their case against the SEC. Also, later on in the video, I want to show you guys why Ripple might end up being extremely lucky they got into this case against the SEC. But I want to show you something interesting first about a settlement before we get into that. So guys, I want to go over another excellent point made by Ashley Prosper that's really going to show you guys why it might be very smart for the SEC to be heavily considering settling this case tomorrow rather than taking it the distance. Listen up to this. Ashley Prosper tweeted out, almost half the amici in the Ripple SEC case and Ripple themselves stated that the SEC does not have the authority from Congress to regulate crypto assets. What if Judge Torres agrees? Wouldn't the SEC rather settle than risk all future power over crypto assets? And guys, I think this is a great point, and it really shows how strategically tactical Ripple and the amici were in this brief. They've mentioned multiple times in their case against the SEC that the SEC doesn't actually even have the authority from Congress to regulate digital assets. That means that the SEC could potentially be in a position where Judge Torres could actually make a ruling in summary judgment that, hey, Ripple and the amici are right. The SEC doesn't have any power over digital assets. Now, guys, this could be catastrophic for the SEC because it seems like the SEC has already assumed a lot of power over the cryptocurrency industry. This could force the SEC to walk back a lot of the power that they thought they had. And guys, this would only happen if the SEC went the distance against Ripple. Guys, Ripple is not going to be concerned about making sure every single digital asset in the market gets clarity. That simply doesn't make sense for them. The only thing Ripple is concerned about is XRP getting clarity. So a great negotiating chip for Ripple and the SEC would be for Ripple to say, okay, all we need is for XRP today not to be a security, and we will settle this case with you so you don't have to risk Judge Torres saying, oh wait, it looks like the SEC doesn't have power over any digital assets. Guys, this is a great example of why a settlement in this case makes so much sense. There is wins and losses for both parties to be had if this case does go the distance, but a settlement makes sure that both parties get the most important parts of what they're looking for. I honestly don't think the SEC cares that much whether or not XRP is going to be a security in the future. The SEC just wants most of the market. This case might already be a lost cause for the SEC. It clearly hasn't gone as well as they expected it to go. But guys, that doesn't mean the SEC has to lose power over the rest of the cryptocurrency market. There's still more fights that the SEC can take on in the future, even if they lose this case against Ripple and XRP. But guys, they would be taking a risk of losing that power over the rest of the cryptocurrency industry if they did let this case go the distance, and that is exactly what Ashley Prosper is pointing out here. Guys, I think a settlement makes a lot of sense from both sides. I've outlined this a lot, but this is just another great example we need to keep in the back of our minds. Obviously, there has been a lot of settlement predictions in the past, and the chance that we actually get a settlement tomorrow, I would say would be under 10%. But guys, there are a lot of things lining up. Charles Hoskinson said he heard it inside legal circles. We know that there is the Sunshine meeting tomorrow where they do talk about settlement, and like this shows right here, a settlement makes sense from both sides. So let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best. Like I have been saying, though, even if we don't get a settlement, we are lucky. Ripple has been doing amazing this entire case. I'm sure they'll win at summary judgment, but I would rather have the clarity sooner than later, and I want this case to be over with. So guys, now I want to move on and cover something else that happened earlier today. There was actually a Senate meeting on FTX collapse, and guys, this thing was bad. If you heard what these different senators were saying about cryptocurrency, you guys would think this market was never going to be regulated. And that's one of the reasons why earlier on in this video, I was saying we might actually be lucky that Ripple got caught up in this case. Guys, the best thing about this case is XRP is no longer going to be dependent on corrupt politicians. It's going to get its status rightfully from the judicial system, and guys, that is a lot less corrupt than our senators and politicians. Guys, I wanted to show you this though, because a lot of people have been upset with how unproductive these meetings were, and guys, I do think things will get better, and the main reason for that is because a lot of people on the opposite side of Gary Gensler are going to have the House this coming winter, and they're looking to put a ton of pressure on the SEC. I wanted to show you this clip of Tom Emmer. He is really doing a great job of looking into how corrupt the SEC has been over the last couple years. And I think this is just going to show you that there is going to be a massive change come January. So guys, this will hopefully put a lot more pressure on the SEC so they can no longer continue to attack the cryptocurrency industry. Listen up to this.
You commit to sharing with this committee any internal documents you come across regarding communication between FTX and Mr. Gensler or others at the SEC?
We'll fully cooperate, with the committee and the regulatory authorities with respect to our investigation.
Again, specifically, I just want copies that this committee will want copies of those communications to the extent they exist.
We can certainly work with your staff to get you what you need.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, the subpoenas are going to fly over to Gary Gensler. So he needs to be ready for that. And hopefully that will keep some of the excesses that we've seen at the SEC in check.
Yeah, interesting point you bring up, because I interviewed Congressman Tom Emmer multiple times, and he gave a kind of a famous line, I believe a month or two ago, where he said a new day is coming, and he was talking to the SEC enforcement director, and kind of alluding to potentially Republicans, winning the midterms. And then he said having the gavel, they will have the gavel in their hands to then keep regulators like Gary Gensler in check.
Guys, I hope that shows that we really do have better days ahead of us for reining in on the SEC. The current party who has power in Congress weren't going to investigate their own regulator. That's just not how politics works. It doesn't matter what side you take, whether you think that's right or wrong. That's not what happens, but hopefully Gary Gensler is going to face a lot of pressure. And guys, that is just one more reason why Gary is going to want to get out of ongoing cases like the Ripple SEC case. Last of all, guys, I quickly wanted to talk about the market. Earlier today, we got a 50 basis point rise by the Federal Reserve. A lot of people were freaking out saying how this was doom and gloom for the markets. Guys, all I want to show you is that this barely even registered on the XRP price chart. We saw a much bigger move right here that was literally started by absolutely nothing. Guys, this just shows you a lot of the narratives that dominate mainstream media aren't really that significant to the market. Obviously, we want to see inflation slow down in order for the Federal Reserve to stop jacking up rates and for the markets to finally gain some momentum higher. I just want to show you guys a lot of this stuff is hyped up. They act like it's the end of the world. And guys, it barely puts a dent in a lot of the assets out there. Sooner or later, fundamentals are going to take back over in this market. I hope that is sooner than later, but for now, it's just accumulation mode, so just try to be as patient as possible. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much, and for now, Mickle out.